The lens is right here. I'm Dave, and there's John. Here, play.
Welcome to Retired Time Productions.
So this is the Inductrix Tiny Whoop build video part 4, and in this video we're going to go ahead and configure the FreeSky Taranis X9d radio, and then we're going to configure Cleanflight on the Beecore board, and while we're doing that we're going to use the CLI to move the motor positions around. And then we're going to take it for a quick test flight. So let's create a new model for our Inductrix. It's not much like an Inductrix anymore, since we've just about changed everything, even the controller. Okay, so I'm going to go into this, enter, just going to put it in a blank space, so holding the enter button, choose create model, hit the enter button, loading the model. Okay, now we'll hold enter again. Excuse me. What do we do? Click enter once. Should be able to hold the enter and go in and edit it. Why isn't it doing that?
You already have it selected. It automatically selects.
Oh, that's right. Okay, now it's already selected, so we'll just page to the model setup, and I'm actually going to go give it a name. So let me just give it a name real quick. And what do you recommend, John?
I recommend, where am I? So, I recommend Inductrix TW.
Inductrix TW, okay.
Or you can put Tiny Whoop. I just put Inductrix TW.
Alright. Holding it to make it a capital, and then I'm going to go through and put the rest of the letters in. Alright, we got Inductrix TW in for the name. I'm going to go up with a plus key and keep going up till I get to right here, and we want D16.
No, we want D8.
Okay, yeah, D8. Okay, let's see, we'll pick enter. D8, there we go. Nope, I'll get back there. Exit. Okay. So we need to add a channel to the inputs page for our switch for the modes. What do you think, channel 5 or channel 6?
Channel 5, we want aux 1.
Alright, so we'll enter that, and we can call this modes if we want to put a name in. I don't know if we do or not, but let's go here, LM, oh, there it is. Long enter to make it. Okay, mode, that's good enough. Alright, and now we got to set the switch, so we'll go down here to the source, hit enter, and then we'll toggle this switch like that, and that's the SV switch. Okay, so that's it. We'll hit exit, and I think that's all we got to do. Let me hit exit again. So let's go ahead and put it in the mixer, and mix name.
Wait, something changed there just now. It's working now.
Okay, it just had to be entered into the mixer that there was something. So now if I exit, you can see it's in the mixer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Let's exit out. So now the mode switch is working and it's on the screen right there. Okay.
Show that on the screen again.
Okay, here it is flipping the switch, and you can see aux 1 moving right there. Okay, so to bind it, we're going to solder these two jumpers here. We tried to just hold something across it, and it didn't work. So we're going to solder them and then remove the solder bridge after we bind it. So to bind it, we just put the bind highlighted, and then we go ahead and press enter. Start the binding process. This isn't the model setup. Okay, now all we got to do is plug the battery in on the quad. And it should bind. There we go. We're just looking for a solid light. So it's on, it's bound now. Okay, now we can desolder that jumper. And I'll just press enter here to stop the bind process. So now we're going to do some programming with Cleanflight, the Cleanflight configurator. And the cable was provided with the board, and that plugs in this thing right here. You have to lift the board up just a little to get it in, but it goes in fine. Alright, now let's go to the computer, and we'll do a little programming. Okay, we're going to run through the screens on Cleanflight. We're already connected. And so we'll start with setup. Basically, we're not doing anything there yet. We may do a calibration later. Ports. The factory ports look to be alright. We want serial RX right here for our radio control, and these two are okay the way they are. Okay, configuration. We're just going to leave this the same for now. I believe all of these settings are okay. Not going to change anything here. Failsafe. I think we have this just as land, but it could be drop if you want drop. We'll just do land. I think it's better for what we're using, so that's fine. PID tuning, we'll leave the PIDs about the same. I'm not going to change those right now. And receiver. In the receiver, we have to turn on the radio. I'm just turning on the radio. Okay. Just make sure that your sticks and things work in the proper orientation. Like, you know, I'm running like the pitch now. When the pitch is up, you can see it goes right, and pitches down, goes left. So you just check everything, roll, yaw, throttle, and then we got our switch. Okay, now we'll go to modes, which that switch will control, the switch that we set up. It's all right. And so there we are. Now let's do the modes, John. So how do we want them set?
Okay, so you want to have ARM to be from 1200 to right up at the end there. Something like that.
For aux 1?
No, 1200 right there.
1200, okay. That's ARM?
That's ARM. So when you go down to the middle or below, it should ARM.
Alright. Okay.
Now put it back.
Alright.
So now this one you want to be just catching just the middle range. So you want to leave this one where it was.
Alright.
Leave that at 1200, but bring this one in.
Alright. And that's going to be angle mode.
Yeah, you want to make sure that the bottommost position doesn't trigger that.
So that's stabilized mode right there.
Yeah.
And then if you go above that, in other words, if the switch is already down all the way, then you'll have acro mode, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. But it'll still be an arm, so it won't disarm on you either.
Okay, so the switch goes from disarmed to armed with angle mode, and then armed with acro mode.
And make sure you save it.
And make sure you save it right here. Okay, so that's that screen. There's no adjustments that we're going to make. The servos don't exist with the quadcopter. We don't have a GPS. The battery we don't have. Okay, here's the motors. Now, usually you calibrate the motors on a quad. And
but this one I didn't see that you had to.
It didn't seem like you had to do it with this one, but if you did, what you would do is plug in the battery like that, and it might fly away, so you have to hold it down. Then let me get my mouse back. You turn this on that you understand it might fly away. I don't know, it won't let me turn it on anyway.
Yeah, because it's not available on this board, I don't think.
Yes, it's not available. So it looks like we can't do the motors. Alright, if we did, we would turn this on and run this master all the way up and go beepity beep. And once it gets done with the tones, you'd pull it all the way down, and that calibrates them. But I don't think you can do it on these boards. So we'll skip that. No race transponder, no LED strip.
Actually, there is LED strip. Just leave that default.
Yeah, okay. We'll leave that default. Where's the LED strip on these things?
There's no LED strip. It's just a virtual LED strip from the lights on the bottom and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, so it actually does something, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, sensors, nothing. Okay, so pretty much nothing. And then the CLI is where we're going to do some adjustments for the motors being in the wrong place. So we'll get to that next. Okay, we're in the CLI and we're going to remap the motors. But first, let's just take a version, and I want to show you what firmware we got. So we got Cleanflight SP Racing F3 Evo 1.13.0. So that's what we're using. Okay, now let's remap the motors.
So first we do mmap. I mean not mmap. mmix load quad X. So that loads our default quad X. And then once we got that loaded, we go in and we start to change them. And the way we change them is we want to change the yaw to be backwards of what we got right now. So we want negative to be positive and positive to be negative in the yaw column. The way we do that,
and the rest will be the same, right?
and yeah, the rest will be the same. Throttle is always 1, so you can just remember that. Throttle is always 1. And so to do that, we pick a row we want to change. So in this case, we're going to do row 0. So we put a 0 in, and then we copy all 3 of the rest of them in that row except the yaw. We want to negate that to a 1.
Okay.
So let me just do that for each one here. So I already got it typed in there. And I already got all of them in there actually right now. So and we're going to do number 1 next.
Okay, mmix 1, and then we'll do mmix 2. Just changing that last yaw, just reversing the sign basically on the last one, which is yaw.
Alright,
now we need 3.
3, and then we do a.
We haven't typed.
Yeah, we haven't typed that one in yet. So then we just simply do a mixer, and we do custom.
If you don't do that, you'll lose it all.
If you don't do that, you'll lose it all.
Okay.
And then you just do save.
Save. And that should make it work. It's just rebooting now. It has to reboot after it does the changes in the CLI. And now we're back.
And if you want to, you can check to confirm that went to custom by going to configuration, I think it was, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
See, now it says custom.
It says custom mixer there now. Instead of
And,
quad X.
But we're going to go back to setup now, and we're going to hit the calibrate button. So you want to have it on a nice flat surface.
Mm-hmm.
Steady with it, of course.
Well, it isn't really flat right now because the board
Well,
is
it doesn't
tilted.
matter that it's flat, really. It just makes a difference whether it's moving or not when you hit the button. So just leave it laying there. It should be fine.
Okay.
I'm going to hit the calibrate button and just give it some time, and it'll calibrate.
All right.
And just letting it level down there a little bit. Yeah, it looks fine. And so that should be all of it right there, actually.
Okay, so as far as we know, we're pretty much done.
Yeah.
And we can test it and see if it flies. All right, let's give it a little test and just see if it works now. I'm going to turn it around this way so the camera's facing away from me. There we go. So it seems to have really good control. I like it better than the original Inductrix board. Of course, I'm in stabilized mode right now. Angle mode. I'm in angle mode. But it really does seem to be easy to fly. I think the motors have more power too, right, John?
Yeah.
Alright. Works pretty good. Now we just need to take it to the gym and fly it around a little bit. And then I'll take it out of arm like that. That's a nice feature.
Here, play.